This video tutorial looks at the mathematical strand of linear and non-linear relationships, and more specifically we're going to focus our understanding on graphing linear relationships from an equation. So one way we can graph a linear relationship with an equation is that we can create a table, and if we're doing that, it actually helps us to get the coordinates we need. Alright, we've looked at plotting graphs using a table of data already, but in this particular case, we've got an equation, but we don't actually have any data to be able to plot. So in order for us to do that, we simply need to just give our x value or our independent value, our independent variable. So remember that our x is our independent variable and our y is our dependent variable. We just need to give our independent variable some numerical values. So I'm going to go -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And I'll do that on both of my tables. I'm going to do two examples. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so once I've done that, I simply substitute my values for x into my equation to get my y value. So, for example, instead of having y equals x plus 3, this would now be y equals -3 plus 3, because I've simply substituted my x value in. So I've replaced the x with what the x value is to get my answer. And I've kind of skipped ahead there, because when I have the answer or the expression of -3 plus 3, that's going to give me an answer of 0, and I place my answer in the y value. Alright, I've done that now, so instead of -3 plus 3, I'm now going to end up with -2 plus 3, and -2 plus 3 is going to give me a value of 1. I've now found out the value when x is -2, so now I'm going to do the same for the others. When x is -1, that's going to give me an answer of 2. And you'll probably start to see a bit of a pattern. When x is 0, I get 3. And when x is going to be 1, I'll get 4, 5, and 6. And now what I've got is I've got sets of coordinates that I can plot. So my first set of coordinates is -3, 0. So -3, 0, -2, 1, -1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 4, 2, 5, and 3, 6. So you can see that I've now plotted the graph of my equation. So this is y equals x plus 3. If I want to do the next graph, I'll use blue to do this. I simply, again, replace the x with my value. So I've got two lots of -3, take 1. Two lots of -3 is -6, take 1. That gives me an answer of -7. I'm now going to do the exact same thing, but instead of -2, instead of -3, I'm going to put in -2. And then, so it's two lots of -2, take 1. -2 times 2 is -4, take 1 is -5. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to now put in my -1. Two lots of -1 is -2, take 1 is -3. And you should start to see a bit of a pattern here. I'm now going to put in my 0 value. Two lots of 0 is 0, take 1 is -1. So essentially all I'm doing is replacing my x value with my numerical values that I've allocated it to work out my value for y. 2 times 1 is 2, take 1 is 1, and you should be able to start to see a pattern here. The blue numbers are going up by 2 each time, and now I have some more sets of coordinates here. So I have -3, -7. I have -2, -5, -1, -3, 0, -1, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 3, 5. So I've now been able to plot two graphs, or two equations, by allocating some numerical values for x, and then finding out my y values by substituting. So let's look at another example. So here you can see that I've got a table ready. I'm going to allocate some numerical values for x. I've just put in positive and negatives just to make sure I get a straight line. I'm now going to substitute values in. So my first value is -3. Okay, I've just substituted that in here. 3 lots of -3 is -9, plus 2 gives me -7. So therefore, I'm going to have -7 here. I'm now going to substitute my -2 value in. 3 lots of -2 is -6. -6 plus 2 is -4. I'm now going to substitute my next value for x in. 3 times -1 is -3, plus 2 is -1. Now I'm going to substitute my next value in. 3 lots of 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. And you can see that these are going up by 3 each time. Now I've got my set of coordinates. And I can plot them. -3, -7, -2, -4, -1, -1, 0, 2, 1, 5, 2, 8, and 3, 11, which would be up here somewhere. So you can see that I've now plotted the graph of y equals 3x plus 2. Okay, what I'd like you to do here is have a go at trying to plot this equation. Remember to put in your x values and then calculate your y values by substituting your x values into the equation and then graphing. So please feel free to pause the video. Once you think you've got the answers, continue it and we'll see how you went. Alright, so let's see how you went. I've got -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to substitute my values in. So I end up with y equals 2 lots of -3, take 2. That's -8. Now I'm going to substitute -2 in. That would be -6. -1 would be -4. 0 would be -2. 1 would be 0. And you can see these are going up by 2 each time. So there's a pattern. Now I'm going to plot these points. -3, -8, -2, -6, -1, -4, 0, -2, 1, 0, 2, 2, and 3, 4. And you can see that that line is y equals 2x, take 2.